I never go to speak about love without first thinking of the elephant Love Medley from the Moulin Rouge movie. If you're not familiar, this early 2000s movie is a Baz Luhrmann, way too grandiose movie musical about a courtesan and a broke young man story as it ever was. In this particular scene, Ewan McGregor's broke young man is trying to convince Nicole Kidman's courtesan to be in love with him. And what starts is a musical medley of pop love songs. He says, "All you need is love." And she says, "Don't start that again." He says, "All you need is love." And she says, "Love is just a game." He says, "All you need is love." And then continues. She does not become convinced in the course of this pretty impressive rock medley. And I think about that because it is so easy if your reference point is pop and rock songs about love to be like, wow, that is an empty concept. Now, I love me some love songs. The playlist Caitlin and I made for our wedding keeps getting longer even though we've been married for 2.5 years. Because I love a mushy song. I don't actually know how many hour songs Caitlin and I have because I develop a new one all the time. Tennessee Whiskey is one of our songs. Annie's Song by John Denver is one of our songs. Multiple Randy Travis songs are our songs. But so is Bad Girl by Usher. I don't know. We're sort of all over the place. But when I need love to be more than something that I'm dancing and singing around, when I want to live into the Randy Travis lyrics about love deeper than the holler and stronger than the river, higher than the pine trees growing tall among the hills, I gotta get into something that is more than the bubbly feelings, though the bubbly feelings are fun. For love to be something that really matters in my life, to be in the middle in the way that I think of love as being in the middle of how I live my life and how I think about the world, it's gotta have something stickier. Let's ignore the implications of that. It's gotta dig in a little bit. Let's go with that, dig in. And for me, the definition of love that has been most able to grab hold of me and dig in is love as a commitment to caring. Yeah. Love as this emotional experience, the fluffy, flittery one that you think of when you see the balloons and the hearts, right? Which are beautiful, thank you, Karen. That love is kind of fleeting sometimes, right? How many of us have felt very infatuated with someone or something, only to find out a month, a year later that, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. Some of us have probably done that a bunch of times. I have done that a bunch of times, given to fits of passion. Sue me. But love is a commitment to care. That asks more than that you have bubbly feelings about something or someone. As a commitment to care, love says we need to be together in a real way. We gotta talk about the stuff that matters. We gotta get into the places where things are difficult. We have to recognize that being in love with each other in any way you might mean it requires us to invest in each other. to think about each other's hopes and dreams and becoming, to accept each other as not static subjects of infatuation, but real whole people growing and developing together. And this is true whether we're talking about two people in a romantic relationship, three people in a romantic relationship, a couple hundred people in a congregational relationship, a group of friends. Whatever the context is, we need to hold on to each other. So we're going to think together today about love as a commitment to care. We're going to think about the ways that we care for our space, right? The way you make a house a home, a congregation a home. Our care for each other, what we do to take care of each other when we need it, what our processes are as a bigger community for communication to come in and let us know when you have needs, how you can tell the people in your friend group, in your family, in your relationship, hey, I have a need, because accepting that you need things and expressing them is part of being in a loving relationship with people. And we're going to talk about care for our individual and collective dreams. I'm going to start with an extra little reading from a book I've been reading this month called Black Imagination, which is curated by Natasha Marin. This book was recommended to me by somebody who I sit on the creative council of the organization Infleshed with. Infleshed does liturgies for queer Christians and also some moving in the direction of being a truly interfaith organization, which is much of what I do there. This book is a collection of short essays and reflections that began as installation art. The author, or curator, as the case is, asked a wide variety of Black folks questions, and then art was made out of their responses. And we have the answers to the art in the form of this book. So this one is early in the book in a chapter titled simply Imagination. It's by Reagan Jackson, who lives in Seattle, Washington. When I wake up, there is someone there who loves me. When I leave my home, people living on my street know my name, know my parents' names, name and claim me as their own. Drop by with soup when I am sick, and small gifts during holidays. And I do the same for them. We break bread together. We laugh and dance and work and build together. Wherever I go, I am known and I know others. We greet each other with smiles and hugs. Our expressions are always genuine. We don't hide resentments between clenched teeth or anger in clenched fists. We say the words that need saying. We speak and listen and forgive and understand. We are peaceful in our hearts and actions, and our peace is never built on the sacrifice of another's peace. Our community is not built on the suffering of others. We live in balance, never taking more than we need, never needing so much we can't sustain ourselves. And each of us are honored and valued and respected as equal members of a collective, irrespective of age, ability, ethnicity, gender, or any other descriptor. We bring all of who we are. I'm sharing that because I think it could be another version of our statement of purpose, another version of what dreams we have collectively about this space, a place where we know each other, where we can greet each other by name, where we claim each other as our own, recognizing that you have others who are yours too. Where we care for each other when we're sick and offer each other simple gifts when it is time. Where we have peaceful coexistence, not because some of us are swallowing painful things, but because we've talked, because we've decided to care for each other for real, in a way that requires none of us to sacrifice our own peace for the peace of the whole. Where we're not gripping our anger or being eaten alive by it, where we're not clenching our teeth to get through conversations that always go the wrong way. I think we're well on the road to this place. I think this place is somewhere we all wish to get to. I think many of us would like this literally everywhere. But the space we have the most ability to change is here. So thinking about space specifically, what do we do to care for our physical space that lets us be in this kind of loving relationship, that shows to other people who maybe just walked in the door this morning, that this is a place that they can come and be known and loved and heard and cared for, where they can make a difference? Well, we've got some stuff on display. We show up here. Hello, you're here. That's cool. Love that. Sometimes we put up some decorations, right? We have a good time here. Decorations are allowed. We're not required to be austere and serious. This is not a number of things that might be required to be austere and serious. We laugh here. We can have fun here. So I'm going to give you a couple of moments. Find somebody nearby, maybe somebody you don't know as well, but if the people near you are all people you know well, don't go far afield finding a new person. Have a little conversation about what you might do. Even just theoretically, but if you're a long-term member, think in a practical term. What you might do to make this space loving. All right, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Do it. I love when you get so excited that it takes me several rings of the bowl to get you back. I hope you had some good ideas. I hope if you had good ideas, you'll share them with me at least, maybe at the microphone during community sharing. Would love to hear some of that clearly vibrant conversation. So taking care of our space is one of the ways that we show love for our community. This can be bigger things, decorations, maintenance, right? Important stuff. You could volunteer to be on the building team. The building team is pretty small. Mike's back there if you want to talk to him. You could also just make sure that before you leave, something is cleaned up, right? So people work really hard to get coffee put out in the morning, and they've been here since early, so maybe they don't need to stay to clean it up too, right? Maybe making sure that everything is cleaned up can be everybody's job. We work together like if we're a kindergarten class. As an aside, I used to, when I was in seminary, refer to seminary as kindergarten for grown-ups. Because let me be clear with you, UU seminary kind of is. Particularly, I was in full-time residence and I had a cubby. And there was a closet with snacks in it. And basically all of my classes were, what if we were nice to each other? Just in the language of graduate school. I was really good at kindergarten. I was really good at seminary. Stuff in between, here and there. So taking care of our space is one piece. Taking care of each other is an even bigger piece. How do we know when someone in our community needs help? Yeah, they have to say something, exactly. This baby's got it down. The best way for us to know if something is happening for you is for you to let us know. We have a pastoral care team which will send you a card while you're in the hospital, will set up a meal train if you need, help you find rides to appointments you need a ride to, and also just is there to lend a listening ear if you need. I am also available for the kind of pastoral care that is mostly a listening ear and thinking through some things. We have a number of ways that you can communicate with us. You can literally bring your body to my body on a Sunday morning and say, hello, I have a need. That's one way. You can email the pastoral care team, pastoralcare@ethicalsociety.org. There are little blue forms on the desk that say WES cares. You can fill that form out and it will get returned to me, and either I will reach out to you or someone from the pastoral care team will reach out to you. We're really trying to emphasize that this is something that we do here. Yeah. Because in the course of the pandemic, with being away from each other, the normal routines of checking in with and hearing from each other across the diversity of WES's membership got a little less clear, right? When you don't see people as much, you don't think about it as much. When you're in your home and you don't need to go places, it doesn't come up so often that you might need some help going a place. So I really want to underscore that we've got some processes already. You can email me, kcs@ethicalsociety.org. All of this information is on the website. You're going to get some more emails about it too, that will also have a link to the same information that is on that form out there. Listen, I am trying to make it as easy as possible for you to communicate with us if you need something. And your need doesn't have to be, I am in the hospital. You don't have to get all the way there before you tell us, okay? It does not need to be an absolute emergency. Nothing needs to be on fire. Nobody needs to be dying. You could reach out because You're having a difficult interpersonal interaction and you want to think a little bit about how you might approach it. You can reach out because you want to connect with other people who have similar childcare needs to you. You can reach out because you notice that you're aging and you want to have a conversation with someone about what any of that means. You can reach out because you've got big question mark questions and you just need to sit down and talk with somebody. You can reach out because you think you might need pastoral care. You can reach out because somebody else in your life is having a really hard time and you are helping them because you need care during that situation too. Because vicarious trauma is a very real thing. And when the people close to us go through intense stuff, we go through intense stuff too. You can also tell each other, right? You don't have to tell a specific committee. You can tell your friends. Now, if you have needs like meals or rides or something, please do let the pastoral care team know we have some extra capacity for that. But also remember that the people sitting next to you are people who are here because they want to be in community with you. They want to know you and care for you and support you. And an unfortunate reality is that to be loved requires allowing yourself to be known. Being known is sort of an ordeal, I understand. I have my own big set of please do not perceive me feelings. Wild, I know. I look like this, I stand up here, but I would sometimes like to not be perceived. So please use the resources that exist, talk to each other, and take a couple of minutes to chat to somebody nearby about what we might do to help care for each other's physical and emotional needs. It's another 2 minutes. Get to it. I don't get to ring the bell very often, so this is fun for me. So the other pieces are to think about our individual and collective dreams and goals. That's probably a bigger conversation than we have time for this particular moment, and I'll tell you, we are working towards what will be a year-long process next year next year as in August to June as the program year runs, of thinking together about our dreams and our goals, our vision for this community. But I want to get us started and digging into it right now while we're thinking about love. Because love is about supporting each other in growing, about supporting each other in dreaming. Love is about helping each other seek the highest in ourselves, become our next favorite versions of ourselves. One thing that a community can do is support each other's growth. I had an interesting moment about this yesterday. It was a flash tattoo day at my and Caitlin's favorite tattoo shop in Baltimore. Valentine's flash is like a new concept. I had never seen that before, but there was something cute on the menu, and so we got up at 9 o'clock in the morning and got to Baltimore at 10 o'clock in the morning and then sat outside the tattoo parlor for an hour, which was not necessary, but usually is. It's not the point of this story. We got matching portal magic heart key tattoos. You can look at this closer later. Caitlin also has one. Whether or not you can look at that, I don't know. You have to ask. The tattoo artist who was doing our tattoo is a trans woman who has been in the tattoo industry for a long time. Something you might know about the tattoo industry is that it is often not particularly welcoming to women and queer people. A lot of the tattoo industry has been very heavily identified with white men who ride motorcycles. Shock. And Huntress, her name is, works in a queer tattoo shop, gets to be the mentor for another young queer tattoo artist. And Flash Day is not usually the most talkative time with a tattoo artist. If I want to have a conversation with a tattoo artist, which I often do, I get bigger pieces. But these littler ones, usually you're in and out. It's called Flash for a reason. It's fast. There weren't a lot of people there, so Huntress wound up talking to me while I was getting my tattoo. So mind you, this conversation is happening while I'm laying down on an object with my arm out like this, because that's the only way to get that part of your body tattooed. But out of the blue, she says, "You know what I really love about tattooing? I love that it's always communal. That any piece of art I make lives on somebody else's body. That there is always a collaboration, even if it is flash that I drew that I then do exactly like I drew it. Because now it's in somebody else's skin. It is different because it belongs to someone else now." And I thought, wow, we're just putting my platform together for me, aren't we? And she said, "You know, portal tattoos are really popular in the style of tattooing that I do right now. Portal tattoos being like this, where the object appears to disappear into one side and reappear out the other." And she said, "And that's really communal too, because we all draw the coolest thing we can think of and then send it to everybody. And then somebody else says, 'Oh, that's really cool. I see how you did this.' And they draw the coolest thing they can think of. And now everybody's stuff is cooler than it used to be." And I was thinking about that. And I was thinking about how in a community you should be able to say, "Hey, here is something interesting, cool, fun that I learned. Here is something that is helping me feel like I am better at being a human, like I am enjoying doing life more." And have other people say, "Oh, hey, I see how you did that," and come back with their own cool thing that they did. I want us to share our cool things more. In the previous section, I was suggesting that we share our hard stuff a little more often. That too. But What would it be like here if a regular part of what we did was like personal growth show and tell, right? You could bring a piece of art that you did, and in fact, people bring art that they did all the time. Bring some art, contribute. You could bring a piece of art that you did and say, I made this and I was thinking about this while I made it, and find that somebody else has been thinking about what you've been thinking about. And then you grow together for a while. And we grow together for a while. There are a couple of you, I will not name names, but you might be able to guess. There are a couple of you who sometimes will write a paper and bring it to me, and then I will get to edit it. And whenever I tell my not-so-academic friends about this, they think that sounds horrible. I love it. It is one of my favorite things that I get to do, is read what people are thinking about, what people have thought about hard enough that they put it into a PowerPoint slide or an essay or a video even, and get to say, okay, I see what you did there. What about this? And then we have a conversation, and I am changed, and I think y'all are changed, and we are growing together. I don't have time for each and every one of you to write me papers, so please do not. However, feel free to send me pictures of things that you think are cool, a piece of art that you saw. Send me a song that you listen to. Send each other songs and art and memes. I love memes. Because the things that you find that make you feel alive should be part of this community too. Whether they are serious things that you've thought a long time about or something that made you laugh and think about this community. It could be a 30-second TikTok, or it could be up to half an hour of video. I have limits. You could schedule time with me, and I will tell you it's going to last an hour and book off 2 hours in my own schedule because I don't know how to shut up. But I want you to share here, and maybe share here at this microphone on Sunday mornings too, the things that are making you feel alive. Because our shared aliveness is one of the points of this. And encouraging our mutual growth and aliveness is one of the points of this community. Our individual goals and growth and our collective dreams aren't actually different things. Our collective growth is our individual growth added together and stitched together. Our aliveness together, the vitality of this congregation, is in part the vitality of each of us as linked together by care, as linked together by love. We belong to each other in a meaningful way. Your membership in or friendship with or attendance at this congregational space say that at least for this morning, you are ours and we are yours. Your continued membership, your memberships longer than my life has been so far, say that I am yours and you are mine, and we are all together each other's. I'm going to give you one last 2-minute period to talk about something that makes you feel alive right now. A piece of art you've seen or heard or experienced recently that spoke to you. A dream you have for this place, or a dream you had in coming here in the first place. 2 minutes, get to it. Still enjoying myself. I hope that the little conversations you've gotten to have throughout this platform have been enjoyable, enlivening, maybe have invigorated some sense of something in you. I hope that some of you will share the things that you talked about at the microphone during community sharing. I hope you'll continue some of your conversations in the hall after platform, or maybe you'll get a group together to go to lunch. That's something you could do. Love is so much more powerful a motivating force for me when I think about it as a commitment to care. When I think about it not as ephemeral bubbles, as much as I love the ephemeral and bubbles. When I let love get a grip on me, really take me to where I need to go, it reminds me of how committed you have to be to caring for each other. And the last piece of that commitment is being ready to change. Yeah. Because you cannot encounter another person in a real way and walk away unchanged. You are not a stone statue, and as it happens, even stone statues are changed by interaction. You will continue to change, and the dream is that when we do it together, we will change in ways not that make us more the same, but that make us each more ourselves, each more networked together as individuals moving in the same direction. Apparently, it's time for me to stop talking. And so I will. But remember that love can be so much more than pink overconsumption, sparkles, and no matter how much I love them, cupcakes. Remember that you can be changed by each other, that you should be changed by each other, and that committing to each other is not just good, though it is good, is not just fun, though it is fun, but is actually one of very few things that successfully changes the world over and over and over again.